Do you feel like you keep attracting the wrong people? People who drain you, misunderstand you, don't make you feel respected or valued, or who make you feel like you have to perform. The real issue isn't your standards. It's that you are not showing up as you. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel where we talk all about personal development, self-improvement, self-help, basically anything that we need to know in order to level up. So if you are interested in any of those topics, do not forget to subscribe so that we could stay connected and embark on this leveling up journey together. A lot of people, myself in the past included, we are so focused on meeting this invisible standard, on being chosen, on being liked, on being picked, that we start performing for others. You are so preoccupied with coming off a certain way, coming off as a girl's girl, coming off as confident, coming off as not weird, as normal, as likable, and saying the right things. But the truth is, when you water yourself down, you start attracting people who are not compatible with the real you. So today we're going to talk about why authenticity is the most powerful filter for relationships. And when I say relationships, I mean both romantic and friendships. Any relationship, the one with your pets, the one with your parents, the one with your siblings, your cousins, your friends. I also want to talk about how we can spot when we are being inauthentic, because I struggled with this a lot. And finally, how to start showing up as our true selves so the right people will find us. Okay, so performing is adapting or altering yourself to be liked by others. And authenticity is aligning your actions with your values, even when it risks rejection. Risks. You know, fun fact, I used to be a little bit insecure about my lisp. Is this a lisp? Well, yeah, it's a fucking lisp. I heard it back and I'm like, yeah, it's a lisp. I used to be so insecure about my lisp, so I used to purposefully avoid words like risks, because I can't say them right. Just a little fun fact about me. Let's get to know each other. Okay, and there is a time and a place to perform. There's a time and place for everything. We might want to perform when we are going into a job interview, when we're meeting our partner's parents, maybe speaking at a conference. These are the times where, yes, we want to perform. We do want to present ourselves as professionally. Obviously, we're not going to go in and start cussing at our in-laws. And there is a time to be authentically yourself. When you are meeting new people who you maybe want to pursue romantically, or when you're on your 5th date, yeah, it's time to start showing your true colors, When you are meeting people who you want to befriend and you're like, you know what, I'm trying to make new friends, I want to make sure that I have lifelong friends, then yeah, you're going to want to be a little bit more true to yourself. And when I first started to learn this, and I was like, that relationship probably ended so badly because I made them think I was somebody I'm not. Next relationship, I'm not going to put up a front. Now the problem was, well, I can't even decipher when I am putting up that front. So I came up with some signals that showed me that I was performing for the person in front of me. The first one was overthinking how I was being perceived. Anytime I would start saying something, like a sentence, maybe I made a joke, I would be like, oh, did they think I'm awkward? Did they think that was funny? Oh, what if they think I'm stupid? When you, especially on first dates, when I first was trying to heal myself from my relationship trauma, I remember going on these dates and just thinking so much about how the date was going, if I was going to say the right thing, if I would scare him off, if he would think I was funny, if she would like me enough, and it's it's not your job to be funny on a date. You have your sense of humor. People are out there who think that you are hilarious. Other people, they're not going to rock with your humor, and that's fine too. It's not your job to match that person's humor. It's your job to find somebody who matches your humor. Obviously, you're going to shame someone and oh, you're not funny. No. If you don't think a person's funny, okay, and you want to be in a relationship with somebody who's funny, you're going to move on and you're going to look for somebody with the qualities that you're seeking out. And it is the same thing for you. That's what you have to remind yourself. If you're just consistently and overthinking every small detail, that is a clear sign you are performing. That is a clear sign you are trying to impress someone. You are trying to be somebody who you're not. Saying yes every time you want to say no is another one. This one came to me more so towards friendships, when I was trying to make new friends, or when I was trying to keep being friends with people who I just wasn't really compatible with. I found myself always like, let's say, this is probably the biggest example, right? My friends, my ex-friends used to love, and they would go smoke. We would go to the park, we would smoke, we would buy an excessive amount of junk food, and that was our hangout, that was our fun. I brought them up to par with, you know what, I'm trying to lose weight, I'm trying to become a healthier person, I have new goals to achieve. Let's go on a walk, or maybe a hike. Maybe let's do something that doesn't involve food, because you know what, today I actually don't want to try the full crumble cookie menu. Like, that's not something I want to do anymore. And they would agree. And then last minute they would be like, oh, actually, you know what, I have this thing, or you know what, this thing, and I actually just, can we like just go out to eat, and then like just go to the park, and like, you know, like fall back through like our old habits. And I would say, yeah, okay. I didn't want to be the difficult friend. I didn't want to be the party pooper, the one to always say no, the one who was always disagreeing with like the majority rule. So when I examined my behavior, and I was like, well, why do I always just want to be, okay, yes, yep, that's cool with me, I'm the cool friend, I'm the chill girl, the cool girl. It's because I'm performing. I'm actually saying yes to things that no longer align with my value. At one point, yes, I did not have a problem eating the full crumble cookie menu and then going to McDonald's to get a McFlurry. I didn't have a problem with it. Now, that's not what I want to do. And then avoiding expressing unpopular opinions. This one kind of ties with the other one. I knew this guy, and he was like in the group. And back in 2020, during like the BLM protest, we had like this huge fallout because he was like all lives matter, cops lives matter. And I'm like, you know, like the whole dilemma, we all know this boy over here, dark brown skin, I didn't understand. And we had a lot of conflict where I was like, why are you being so, like, just say Black Lives Matter. Like, it's not fucking hard. I'm not saying your life doesn't matter. I'm just saying Black Lives Matters too, you know? We had this fallout. I told my group of friends, I don't want to be friends with him anymore. And the rest of my group, we were all for the BLM movement. We went to protests. We were like, you know, we were in full support. This guy, I don't know what the fuck was. After a few years after the 2020 timeline, my friends all decided to hang out with him. I didn't know he was gonna go somewhere with us. I think we went to Disney. My friend got us into Disney because he knew somebody that worked there. I don't know how it played out, but we all went to Disney. They invited him. I didn't know he was gonna go. Probably wouldn't have gone if I knew that, but I went. And I remember somehow like that topic got brought up of like police brutality, and I remember feeling like I'm not even gonna say anything because I know it's an unpopular opinion here. I tried so hard to be friends or be amicable with this person in order to like stay in that friend group, because at the time, those were the only people I knew. I didn't have a reason to do that. Later on, we just kept having arguments and little like, until I got to a point where I was like, hell no, get me the fuck away from these people. Why? Because we were not compatible. And by me feeling the need to not say my true opinions, my true thoughts, my true feelings, because I was scared that the majority was not gonna like support that, that was a clear indicator that, girl, those are not supposed to be your friends. And so why do we do this? Why do we continue to perform for people who we shouldn't really be in our lives? Number one is the fear of rejection. Almost all of the times where I was performing for other people, it was because of this, because I was just so afraid that they wouldn't like me. I was so afraid that they would resent me, or I mean, especially when it came to dating. Obviously, I was going on dates with people, and the way that I viewed dating back then was like, oh, I'm gonna get a boyfriend, or oh, I'm gonna get a girlfriend. I didn't view dating as like, oh, I'm a complete person. I love my life. I love myself. I get enough validation for myself. You know what? A partner might be able to add to that. Let me go out and see if there's a person out there that could add to my life. I didn't view dating like that. I view dating as like, oh, maybe if I change myself in this way, he'll like me and then I'll get a boyfriend. Oh, maybe if I'm super funny, he'll like me and then I get myself a boyfriend. I would view dating as like a chase, as a game. And that's another reason. It's because my past experiences taught me that love was something that I needed to earn. And it wasn't until I let go of that belief and I let go of my fear of rejection and I stopped being so damn insecure about myself, my sense of humor, my thoughts, my beliefs, my values, that I was able to finally stop performing for other people. And that's why it's so important to also know yourself, because I find that sometimes, especially when I was like a teenager in high school, I simply didn't know myself. I didn't know what I liked. I didn't know what I didn't like. I didn't know what my values were. And because I had no sense of self, it made me get so used to performing for others and kind of molding in to whatever group I found myself in. So it's those two main things, the fear of rejection, which is under the big umbrella of like, I just didn't like myself. And the other one was, I just didn't know myself. But I would like to hope that the majority of us who are watching this video, we have a pretty good idea of who we are. We are at an age where we've had time to explore ourselves, time to get to know ourselves, time to at least familiarize ourselves with our own values, and we have a pretty solid idea of who we are. So I really want to focus on the we just don't like ourselves. And here is the thing, compatibility, it's not about being liked. It's about being understood. We all want to be understood. Yes, we all want to be loved and we all want to be taken care of. But more than that, I really feel like we all want to be understood. We all want support. We all want somebody who cares. We all want somebody who can keep us grounded when we feel like we're going insane. And we all deserve to be around people who make us feel valued and who respect us. But this can only be done if you are around people that you are compatible with. Compatibility reduces unnecessary conflict. When two people are compatible, they naturally align on core values, communication styles, and lifestyle preferences. Now, it doesn't mean that there won't be disagreements. Like, let's say you have a friend you're super compatible with, or a boyfriend you're super compatible with. Like, you're still gonna have those disagreements, but it's more about knowing how to navigate those disagreements. Because your communication styles are so compatible, you're able to talk through an argument. Because your affirmation styles, is that what it's called? Like the love language? Wait, no. No, it's words of affirmation. No, because your love languages are so compatible, you're able to show each other affection. Like, the relationship won't feel like constant friction or emotional labor. Like, you're not constantly gonna have to be explaining yourself to that person. And most importantly, you won't have to change yourself for the other person, which is why compatibility allows both parties to be themselves, right? It means you don't have to shrink or overextend or perform to make that relationship work. You're accepted and you're seen for who you are. That includes your quirks, that includes maybe you're a little bit moody. Maybe you can be a little bit pretentious. Why? Because you know you're not too much for the other person to handle. You know that at the end of the day, that person understands who you are to your core and is able to recognize that, no, you're not a completely, and the biggest thing about you is that you're a flawed, ugly, horrible human being. No, it just means, this person is funny, this person is amazing, she's so caring, she's so kind. Sometimes she can be a little mean, but it's because of this. It's like, I get you, girl. And that's the beautiful thing about compatibility. When you are compatible with the person, you're never going to feel like you have to hide who you are, or you have to portray to be someone that you're not. And compatibility also creates emotional safety. When you feel fundamentally understood, you're more likely to open up, be vulnerable, and express your needs. This builds trust and emotional intimacy. And both of those things cannot thrive in a relationship where both parties are just constantly walking on eggshells. Have you ever had that relationship with someone? For me, it was my former boss. Oh my goodness. We clashed. There was not an ounce of compatibility between us. Everything about us crashed. I genuinely always felt like I had to be careful with everything I said. It got to a point where I would not talk to this girl, this lady, this woman. I would not talk to her because I already knew we were gonna get in a fight, get in an argument, we're gonna go at it. And it's not because she was a horrible person or I was a horrible person. It's just because we didn't get each other. Imagine if I wanted to befriend this girl. It was just constantly us tiptoeing around each other. She wouldn't tell me anything. She would have to run by it first with everyone, and I would do the same. I would be like, hey, I need to talk to this lady, is this what I say, blah blah blah. And they'd be like, oh, maybe tweak it like this. Imagine if we were to ever try to form a real friendship, and every time we had a discussion we would have to oh, I'm gonna call my friend real quick to run this by her before I tell her. No. But that is how some people are in relationships. They are in relationships with people who they are not compatible with. And I mean, I'm not saying you can't work on this, but a lot of times they're over here texting their homegirl, hey, should I say this? I don't want to anger him. Do you think this will come off in a mean way? Why are you with that man if you can't even communicate with him? You guys are clearly not compatible. So that's why compatibility is so important. But here is the kicker. If you are constantly wearing a mask, you are constantly performing, you will never find the people who you are actually compatible with. Being real, being true to yourself, and being a genuine person, it's like a magnet. Sometimes you're gonna repel people, but other times you will deeply attract the right people. And this is what I found to be true. This last weekend where I went out, I went to a Love Island watch party. It was me, my boyfriend, and my niece. Everything about us is just, first of all, my niece and I, super compatible. We are the same person. My boyfriend and I, the same person, super compatible. Obviously, we have we're a little bit different from each other, but for the most part, our humor is the same. We can bounce off of each other. We love to banter. We have the same sense. It was just so much fun being in that group, going out, because we were such a compatible group. And I do not hold anything back from my niece knows me completely. A part of that is because she's younger, and so obviously I would tell her from the get-go, I tell you everything about me so that you can learn from my mistakes. I have done a lot of stupid shit. I didn't have an older sibling. I wasn't super close with my parents. I didn't have anybody older who I could learn from, other than the YouTubers I would watch. So I really wanted to allow her to be able to learn from my experiences. And so because of that, she knows everything about me. I don't ever feel like I have to put on a mask. I have no filter with her, and she is the same way with me. And so because we know that we are so compatible, we are able to form such a genuine bond. I have other cousins who in the past, maybe I put on a front. You know, when you're like super nice, you're trying to mold to their sense of humor, to their. I've gone out with them and it just doesn't feel right. And it's because maybe we're just not as compatible. And, you know, we agreed, oh yeah, let's go out because we're having a good time right now when we're like putting on a mask. But then we go out and it's just like small talk, small talk, small talk. And it's not fun. And it goes back to it, right? Like, I really want to stress that point where it's like we have this fear of being so raw and just ourselves and getting rejected and not being liked and not being accepted. But it's just so impossible to not find a group of people who will love you, who will accept you for who you are, who will love your quirks, who will love your flaws, who will just love you as a person. The chances of that are just so unlikely. Are there more people who will not like you, who will not accept you? Yes. Yes. Who cares? You're not here to be compatible with everyone. Because what's going to happen is you're going to have friends and your outings, your hangouts are going to look like the second cousin I was talking about, where it's like small talk the whole time. You're overthinking. Oh, should I say this? Oh, I want to say this joke, but I don't know. It's not going to be fun. Life is much more fun when you are around people who genuinely love you and connect with you, and who you don't have to feel like you have to tiptoe around. And when you show up authentically, you yourself will sort the people in your life. You will realize, yeah, these people are so cool. I bond so well with them. These are my people. And then you're going to realize, you know what, these people, they're cool, they're nice, but something is just not right. And I don't have to change anything about myself to mold to them. They certainly don't have to change anything about them to mold to me. I'd rather just let them be acquaintances, if that. Let me stick to my people. But yeah, other than that, that was today's video. Authenticity is probably the most underrated friendship and dating strategy. Y'all, I would watch when I was single and I really wanted a boyfriend. I don't know. It was like before I was super healed and I was like talking to a lot of people who I was not compatible with. And I genuinely thought something was wrong with me. So I would watch these like women or dating life coach gurus on YouTube talking about, oh, if you want a man to like you, you have to be so like this and dark feminine and chill girl coded and all of these things. And no, the most powerful strategy is to just be yourself. Be somebody who loves themselves, who fully accepts themselves, and show up as that person. That's it. That's the cheat code to anything, to any relationship, friendship, romantic, family. It's just that. There are going to be people who are going to run the other way. And there are going to be other people who are going to be like, yep, that's the one. That's the one for me. If you resonated with this video, do not forget to like it. Comment down below your experience with this. Do you agree? Is this a hot take? Do you think we should continue to play little mind games? I don't know. Let me know. Let's start a conversation. But yeah, until next time.